Explain why the Directory was overthrown in 1799. The Directory, established by the Constitution of Year III in 1795, was overthrown on 1819 Brumaire Year VIII, 9-10, November 1799, in a coup d'état that replaced it with the consulate under Napoleon Bonaparte. Several interconnected factors explain why this regime collapsed after only 4 years. The Directory suffered from profound political instability and structural weaknesses. The Constitution of 1795 created a complex system with a bicameral legislature, Council of 500 and Council of Ancients, and a 5-man executive, the Directory, deliberately designed to prevent dictatorship after the Terror. However, this produced paralysis. Annual partial elections for 1/3 of the legislature caused constant factional shifts, while the directors lacked effective power to enforce decisions. To survive threats from royalists and neo-Jacobins, the regime repeatedly annulled election results or used military force, e.g., the coup of Fructidor 1797 against royalists and the coup of Prairial 1799 against Jacobins. These purges undermined legitimacy, alienated moderates and accustomed politicians, and the public to unconstitutional interventions, making another coup seem normal rather than shocking. Economic and financial failure further eroded support. The Directory inherited massive debt, hyperinflation from assignats, and war costs. Attempts at reform, such as replacing assignats with mandats territoriaux, failed disastrously, leading to renewed inflation and hardship. Corruption among directors and officials, e.g., bearas, became notorious, while tax collection remained inefficient. Many bourgeois property owners, who had benefited from revolutionary land sales, feared either Jacobin redistribution or royalist restoration would threaten their gains. Widespread disillusionment grew as the regime failed to deliver promised stability and prosperity. Military crises in 1799 created a sense of national emergency that the Directory could not manage. The formation of the Second Coalition, Britain, Austria, Russia, led to serious defeats. French armies were pushed back in Italy and Germany, raising fears of invasion. The Directory's reliance on the army for domestic survival had already politicized the military. Defeats exposed its incompetence in foreign policy. This crisis convinced many, including Abbé Sieyès, a sitting director, that only a stronger executive could save the Republic. Finally, the return and ambition of Napoleon Bonaparte provided the decisive catalyst. Returning from Egypt in October 1799 as a national hero, despite the campaign's ultimate failure, Bonaparte enjoyed immense prestige from earlier victories, e.g., Italian Campaign 1796-97. He allied with Sieyès, Talleyrand, and others plotting reform. Sieyès wanted constitutional change to strengthen the executive. Bonaparte supplied military muscle. The conspirators used fears of a Jacobin plot to move the councils to St. Cloud, where troops intimidated deputies. On 19 Brumaire, after resistance in the Council of 500, grenadiers dispersed the assembly, allowing a compliant rump to abolish the Directory and appoint 3 provisional consuls, Bonaparte, Sieyès, Ducos, with Bonaparte as first consul. In conclusion, the Directory was overthrown due to its inherent constitutional flaws, repeated violations of legality, economic mismanagement, corruption, military failures, and public exhaustion after a decade of revolution. These weaknesses created a power vacuum that Napoleon, with his popularity and army support, could exploit. The coup succeeded because few defended a regime that had lost almost all credibility.